And it is highly, highly, highly important that you have that stormwater infrastructure inspected or assessed on an annual basis. Whether you live in a neighborhood, a community, HOA, or you work on an industrial site, commercial site, most likely there is a stormwater infrastructure that runs through that property. And it is highly, highly, highly important that you have that stormwater infrastructure inspected or assessed on an annual basis. You know, when you hire a professional that comes in and looks at your stormwater infrastructure, they're going to know the difference between an animal burrow and a sinkhole. Both problems need to be fixed, and both problems, if they're not fixed properly and diagnosed properly, they will lead to larger, more expensive, disastrous problems that will be mandated by the local municipality and their regulations. The other thing is stormwater ponds are designed to trap and hold sediment and pollutants. At what point does that trapped sediment hinder the capacity of the pond? And you need to know, and you need to be able to budget for the future, assess, measure the sediment accumulation in that pond, because when it's working right, the capacity is shrinking each year. So you need to have a stormwater professional be able to come out and help you diagnose and plan for the future on keeping a healthy stormwater pond. Because if that pond loses its capacity, people in your community are going to be asking, why is the street always flooded on major rain events? So that's going to be a black eye for you on your reputation in the community, and you don't want to get into the legal battles of all that, especially realizing that every stormwater pond that was built within the last 15 years or so has what's called a permanent maintenance agreement. This is an agreement that you have signed, or the initial property owner when that infrastructure was installed, saying that the responsibility of maintaining and inspecting that pond, and the inspection, the assessment, is once a year. The responsibility is the property owner. And so if you're not doing that and you can't prove that that stormwater pond is being inspected and looked at by a stormwater professional on an annual basis, you're going to be held liable for problems that are caused throughout the community. And you're also going to be in big trouble even if there's not a problem. The fact that you didn't have that inspection done, there are fines that are connected to that laid out in that permanent maintenance agreement. So if you haven't received or been in contact with a stormwater professional, if you're in the area here in the upstate of South Carolina, we'd love to help you out. We can also do some ponds in North Carolina, Georgia, throughout the state of South Carolina. If you have not had that stormwater infrastructure assessed, I would recommend that you find somebody. If it's not us, it needs to be somebody to come in and take a look at that pond.